Hello, you're watching Vnews Bulletin. From another headlines as usual.
President receives Russian prosecutor general. Prime Minister calls for IMF's continued assistance for Vietnam. Vietnam and Canada eye stronger comprehensive partnership. A delegation of the Prosecutor General's Office of the Russian Federation, led by Mr. Igor Krasnov, is paying a working visit to Vietnam. On October the 4th, President Nguyễn Xuân Phúc received the delegation. Welcoming Mr. Igor Krasnov and his entourage, President Phúc stated that Vietnam always appreciates the great support of the former Soviet Union in the past and strives to unceasingly foster comprehensive strategic partnership with the Russian Federation. Prosecutor General Krasnov briefed the host leader on the outcomes of cooperation between the General Prosecutor's Office of the Russian Federation and the Supreme People's Procuracy of Vietnam. Krasnov said that in the coming time, the Prosecutor General of the Russian Federation will support the Vietnamese side in training officers and prosecutors for Vietnam. The delegation of the General Prosecutor's Office of the Russian Federation is on a visit to Vietnam from October 4 to 6 on the occasion of the two countries' 10th anniversary of upgrading their relations from a strategic partnership to comprehensive strategic partnership and 72 years of the establishment of diplomatic relations. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính called on the International Monetary Fund (IMF) to prioritize assistance for Vietnam while receiving Ira Devlanoris, head of the organization's Article 4 consultation of the Department of Asia Pacific in Hanoi on October the 3rd.
The host leader appreciated IMF precious assistance for Vietnam so far, including policy consultation, technical support, and personnel training. He asked the IMF to increase policy advice, economic governance, and risk response for the government and relevant agencies, continue providing training programs and technical support on economic management, among others. Ira Devlanoris congratulated the Vietnamese government on socio-economic development achievements in 2022 and previous years. She noted the economy has continued its success in 2021 and 2022 compared to many other countries, thanks to a successful vaccination campaign and strong and effective solutions taken by the government. She raised many recommendations, including combining macro policies in a prudent, concerted, autonomous, and consistent manner, properly implementing policy marketing to manage risks and mitigate policy selections impacts, and properly carrying out the recovery and development program.
Vietnam underlined its resolute condemnation against terrorist acts in any form or for any purpose at a plenary meeting held by the 6th Committee Legal of the 77th session of the UN General Assembly on October the 3rd.
At the meeting, participants condemned terrorism and called on the international community to improve their sense of responsibility and perform international obligations on counter-terrorism. Ambassador Đặng Hoàng Giang, permanent representative of Vietnam to the UN, said Vietnam has made efforts to implement the UN Global Counter-Terrorism Strategy and international obligations in the terror fight. Vietnam has joined 15 global conventions and many regional and bilateral agreements on the fight against terrorism and transnational crimes. In particular, it has attached importance to national obligations under the UN Security Council resolutions on the fight, included regulations on the issues in many relevant legal documents, and continuously improve law enforcement bodies' capacity, including by setting up a counter-terrorism training center under the Ministry of Public Security in February 2022.
With the COVID-19 pandemic restrictions eased, the granting of visas should be made more convenient and quick to boost cultural and people-to-people exchanges and enhance friendship between Vietnam and Canada. ambassador to the country thăm told an event on October the 3rd. Vietnam and Canada established a comprehensive partnership in 2017 during an official visit of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to Vietnam. Since then, the two-way trade has surged by 72.7%, and the number of Vietnamese students in Canada has been on the rise.
5 years ago, the comprehensive partnership between the Socialist Republic of Vietnam and Canada was set up, opening a new page in the relationship between our two countries. And next year, we will celebrate the 15th anniversary of our diplomatic relations.
Ambassador Pham said the Vietnam-Canada economic linkage as the driver of the comprehensive partnership should be further stepped up by making the most of the comprehensive and progressive agreement for the Trans-Pacific Progress (CPTPP). Canadian Foreign Minister Melanie Chua Lee, for her part, said Vietnam plays a critical role in Canada's Indo-Pacific strategy, given that they boast a close people-to-people exchange and both are members of the Francophone community. According to the diplomat, Canada looks forward to Vietnam's support to become an ASEAN strategic partner.
We want to reinforce our partnership with Vietnam. In the context of our Indo-Pacific strategy, you will definitely see the name Vietnam written in the Indo-Pac strategy because, of course, it is a country of choice for Canada because we have definitely a strong relationship with Vietnam, a great history, and also we have a fantastic community, so there's strong people-to-people ties.
Last year, ASEAN was Canada's fourth largest trade partner, with bilateral goods exchange reaching $25 billion. Canada has invested 1.2 billion Canadian dollars, equivalent to $0.8 billion, in 101 projects in Vietnam within their development cooperation. As of the end of the third quarter, Vietnam's fisheries exports had reached $8.5 billion. Given the momentum, the annual target of $10 billion in exports should be reached by the end of November.
According to the Vietnam Association of Seafood Exporters and Producers, in September, fishery exports were estimated to have fetched over $850 million. Though 36% higher year-on-year, this is the first time exports have fallen below $900 million in the month. Exports of main fisheries products only increased compared to the same period last year. Pangasius maintained the highest growth rate, increasing 97% to $161 million. China and Hong Kong were the biggest importers of the fish with a total value of $153 million, up 97% over the same period last year. Meanwhile, exports to the U.S. declined by 11% to $140 million.
Ho Chi Minh City attracted $2.97 billion in foreign direct investment this year to September 20th, a year-on-year increase of over 26%, according to the Municipal Department of Planning and Investment.
Of the amount, about $350 million were brought into over 560 new projects, down 7.6% in value compared to the same period last year. Singapore was the biggest investor in the Southern Hub, as well followed by Japan and the Republic of Korea. Meanwhile, nearly $1.49 billion were added to over 110 existing projects, 2.5 times higher than the same period last year. Besides, there were nearly 1,800 approved transactions of capital contribution and share purchases by foreign investors, with a total value topping $1.1 billion. The number of valid FDI projects in the city at present is over 11,000, with total registered capital of more than $55 billion.
Vietnam's strong development as well as its aspirations for sustainable environment were captured in paintings displayed at an exhibition in the Korean on the outskirts of Paris.
The exhibition featured nearly 30 works from each painters of different ages, all carrying a message about environmental protection. The paintings were in different materials such as lacquer, oil, watercolor, or acrylic.
The paintings were inspired by photos captured during my trips to Vietnam, as well as my memories about the country. Vietnam is a dynamic country, and I want to express my thoughts through my paintings. Vietnam is my root. It's where I got acquainted with painting.
Vietnamese painters also wanted to introduce to French art lovers images of peaceful rural villages that are fading away due to rapid urbanization and naturalization.
The environment and global warming are pressing issues, and the exhibition is expected to raise awareness about environmental protection while introducing young artists and Vietnamese culture.
As part of the exhibition were martial arts performance and artistic performances, helping French friends and overseas Vietnamese understand more about Vietnamese culture. The exhibition was an initiative from AURO, a non-profit organization based in France, and the Vietnamese Origin French People's Movement, or MCFV, to enhance cultural exchanges between the two countries.
The Cao Bang Department of Culture, Sports and Tourism has held a food contest to honor the province's cuisine.
Taking part in the contest were 12 teams from restaurants and hotels around the northern mountainous province of Cao Bang. Several unique local dishes were introduced, such as sticky rice, roasted pork, and fermented pork rolls, among others. The contest aimed to introduce the province's cuisines and share the experiences of local chefs while identifying unique dishes bearing the culture of Cao Bang. It was also a chance to promote the image, culinary culture, and people of Cao Bang among both domestic and foreign visitors.
Foregoing both a museum and an exhibition house, a painting and installation exhibition showcasing the beauty of Vietnamese nature and life was held at a market fair in Thanh Hóa province with a view to bringing Vietnamese art closer to the public.
On this day, Beer Market Fair in Thạch Thành District, Thanh Hóa Province is totally different from the other days, with an exhibition space entitled Vườn Xòe Ba, arranged for various colorful paintings and installations from 22 popular artists.
I feel quite pleased, as it is the first time I have had the chance to enjoy such a meaningful painting exhibition, as the local people have also enjoyed it.
Art should not be confined to a museum or exhibition house. We, therefore, decided to showcase the paintings in different locations so as to provide better access for everyone.
Earlier this year, more than 60 artworks was displayed on the banks of Dong Ngựa Lake in Thạch Thành District, raising public awareness about the environment, climate change, and world peace. The exhibition then came to be a market fair where artists created and told their own stories, helping local market goers gain a deeper insight into art.
I brought several works of realism to the exhibition that feature various local specialties and a corner in a peaceful village. The exhibition is important for artists like us, as our works are brought closer to local people. Some people may ignore the exhibition and not understand its meaning, but if we stop holding exhibitions outside of museums and exhibition houses, we will never be able to change people's attitude towards art.
Actually, it's life, and it's not at all difficult to understand. However, there are few exhibitions like this that help rural people understand the beauty beneath what they see.